Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please click like and more importantly, subscribe, please. I really appreciate it. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And remember, no matter how good it is or how much it costs, it's just whiskey, folks. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new limited release Ardbeg Scorch. This is the 46% ABV. Comes out now, obviously, in June of 2021. I did not check to see when the bottling was. Yep, bottled in 2021 as well. So 46 ABV, non-chill filtered, no coloring added. I am not going to read all the the dragon story on the back of the box here, but I am going to read the back of the bottle, the Reader's Digest condensed version. For many moons, Isle of folk have told tales of heroes and dragons, yet none match the tale of Ardbeg's flavor-breathing dragon, dwelling in Dunnage Warehouse 3, scorching staves and burning barrels. They say Ardbeg Scorch is the mouth-watering product of its fire temperament. Matured in our most heavily charred ex-bourbon casks, fragrant patchouli interlaces with bold notes of quenched steel and saddle soap, billowy clouds of sweet smoke and charred oak permeate the palate as briarwood, sage, and pine wisp their way to the fore. So puff out your chest and breathe out a fiery spirit. Of course, they have some artistic liberty being taken there, but great presentation as always. They're very creative. I mean, the box is very blingy, and they even have on the back their mascot Scotty, cool little cartoon of him in the back there. So obviously this is not the committee release, which was the 51.7, which came out first a couple of months ago. So this version is more widely available than the original committee release of this. So a little while ago, I poured a small dram of without water and with water. Normally I don't do water, but you've been seeing sometimes more in more recent reviews, I have been experimenting with it. So I'm going to start with the water one first. But I'm going to say a little bit more here. As you can see, I've made some decent headway into the bottle here. I opened it up several days ago, and I am one to celebrate the neck pour on any and every bottle, because that only happens once with every bottle, is that neck pour. And with the first neck pour, I mean sooty, ashy campfire smoke just billowed out of this thing. And my very first dram, the first word that came to my head was masterpiece. But let's get into, now that it's been opened a little bit, we're going to get into what I found to be more consistent dram pours as I've gotten down. So the nose, as soon as you pour it and you add some water, the nose is very complex, and obviously you get heavy phenolic sootiness fireplace ash. And then you also get that hot pepper note, that jalapeno or cayenne pepper note, also a bit of mintiness and doughiness, and almost reminds me of like a wallpaper paste, but definitely heavy medicinal note. Then we're going to go over here with the nose. So without the water, it's more the sootiness that you pick up. With the water, I also got the fruit notes. So I found it interesting with the water anyway. It brought out more of the nuances, and you can tell that the complexity's there. Whereas without water, the sootiness, fireplace ash, smoke slightly overwhelms or slightly overpowers on the palate. On the nose, I meant. On the palate, I mean, it is potent. It is a really what it what they say on here. I mean, it is a powerful, pungent, long, robust finish of soot and ash and mint and hot pepper and hot pepper. But then it becomes a bit of a cinnamon bomb. Where cinnamon is really prominent on it once it starts oxidizing from my palate. With the water, a little less so. It goes without saying, when you add water, it opens it up, it mellows it, and I didn't put much water in there, 2 or 3 drops. A more cooling, calming finish. Both extraordinarily long finishes. You're going to taste this on your tongue and your palate for quite a while. Several minutes, or maybe even longer than that. Price-wise, this limited release, the 46% version, retails for about $130, whereas the committee release, which I believe was 51.7 ABV, right around there, that one was a surprisingly retails for about $185, which surprised me because the Ardbeg Pirate committee release, which was a one-off because they did not have a corresponding limited release to go with that, but the Ardbeg, that retailed for about $180, which I thought was high. So the committee release went up another $5, to make it $185, and now this is $130. Going back to the Ardbeg Black, the committee release was about $140, and the limited release, the 46 ABV of the Black, you could find that anywhere from like $110 to $120. So the prices are on the rise. Shocking. And what I've mentioned in the last couple of videos, in my opinion, anybody that's an Ardbeg fan, doesn't really matter what I'm going to even say about it. Curiosity is going to get the cat, and you're going to try and find one of these. Personally, value for money, I think the Corey Reckon is great value for money if you can get it for for around $80, $80 to $90. Some places a little higher, But with this Scorch, it's definitely an experience. You really can't compare it to a Corey Reckon, or even to the Ardbeg 10, or even to a Lafroig or a Lagavulin, or even an Octomore. This is a unique version of Ardbeg, and you can tell it is, and they even say, I think it's the most heavily charred that they've put out. And for them to say that, I've never tried the Alligator from years ago, but I've heard great things about that. But supposedly this is even heavier, deeper, charred than that, and you can tell. How would I rate this? It's a hard one to rate because it's so unique. But if I have to give it a score for my enjoyment-wise, not uniqueness-wise, comparing it in my head to the Corey Reckon, I would prefer the Corey Reckon over this, but no matter what, I had to try this. So this is damn good in a very interesting way with that heavily sooted char. I know I'm evading the issue of rating. I'm going to rate this as I do in a range. At first I was going to go 85 to 87, but I'm going to say 86 to 88, and for my enjoyment. So I hope that was useful to you. I hope you enjoyed the matchstick at the end. And please click like and subscribe. Really appreciate all the new subscribers, and consider becoming a Patreon. And like I always say, no matter how much it costs or how good it is, it's just whiskey, folks. So Scorch to you all. Hats off to you all, and take care. And don't play with fire.